This is a great place right here to get a frog bite. Look at this. This is beautiful. I'm glad I came in here. I don't know whether to frog or swim a jig. Normally, this time of year, I'd be swimming a jig. But the water is just so warm. Saw some beds today. Bass making beds already. That's early. They don't do that back at the house. Let's creep up in here. This is possibly one of my favorite bites on the planet, and this is how I've been getting some of my best bites when I've crept up shallow, is swimming a jig. And it's awesome. You'll see them wake over and just annihilate it. Whew. See how that hay grass is all matted down right there? It's where a big old alligator's been laying on it, Clay. We could have got too close right there. They'll jump in the boat. Huh?
What's your plan?
Get you between me and him. Oh, wow. I might need you. You see him? He just swam off there. 2-pounder, but it's a bed nonetheless. Man, he made his bed plain as day. Even I could find it. He's right there. Look, 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 look. You see the fish? I might have to come and catch that guy. Man, that looked like a 3+ next time I saw. So that's gonna make me look a little closer at the edges of these. I'm not much of a sight fisherman, but if they pull in here and spawn, oh gosh. Stuff scares me, man. You just wait till you scare a big one and make it mad, it tears off. You think there's a freaking hippopotamus tearing through. It's the first tournament of the year, so there's a lot going on, a lot to do. They got to take our pictures for the website. We got a meeting that's going to cut into rigging time for me that I wanted to already have done, but obviously hadn't had time to do. You know, when we started fishing together, he was freshman in college, I was a sophomore, and Matt's dad was on the professional tour as a co-angler and did really, really well. And a lot of that stuff that he learned from his dad poured into him. I think I got to learn as well.
I caught my first fish when I was knee-high to a grasshopper. I was probably 2 or 3 years old, fishing with my parents, and been fishing tournaments since an early age. I started in 1999 fishing youth events. Got to fish a youth club, got to fish some of the inaugural Junior Bassmaster Classics, Junior FLW Cups. My dad was involved in fishing heavily as well as I was coming up. He was a club angler, fished a lot of the top sixes, and watching him chase that dream and have success in that level is really what kind of burned that into me. I got to fish with him a lot, pre-fishing for some of the tournaments that he was in.
Drew cracked me up. He came over and got that weight and pointed at that jerk bait, and he said, "You need to tie that one back on." I said, "Oh yeah." He said, "Yeah, they'll eat it." He said, "It will never make it out of my box though." I think he found enough shallow, because when I told him I was hurting, you can catch a limit, he said, "You just need to go down the bank and wheel that swim jig around." I said, "Bro, it ain't working on the banks. I've been tried it." I said, "I've found a few places, but," and it could be an area thing, obviously, but he won't, Drew's not gonna BS me.
Bassmaster Opens are are such a different feel than what we're used to. I mean, we're used to fishing kind of on a local, regional level. This isn't a national tournament trail. It's a very established tournament trail. Things are a lot more official. There's registrations, there's picture taking, there's interviews, photo ops. It kind of puts a little bit more pressure on you when you're getting started. You know, you're in practice and you go right into that, and you're getting ready to start day one of one of the biggest seasons of your life. It just adds a little extra pressure.
Yeah, can I? They got more stickers, you know?
Yeah, it's taken up a lot of time off the water, which is definitely not what I've liked to have with the week that I've had.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I spent 2 of the practice days driving back to Lake Lanier and back.
There are so many big names fishing this tournament, because these are guys that you see on TV fishing the Elite Series and fishing all these other big tours. And these guys are right here beside you, and they're fishing against you, and you know, they're ready to take your money if you're not ready for it.
You know, my time at the Bass University was spent working with a lot of the best in the world, so I have relationships with a lot of these guys. I think on one hand, you know, I'm not intimidated by these guys anymore when you get to know these guys and get to know their stories, but I acknowledge and know just how good these guys are, and the guys who people don't even know their names yet. Like, there are so many guys who are so good.
And Justin is such a social butterfly when he gets out in his element. He knows so many of these guys. They're laughing, they're talking, and you know, I kind of keep to myself. I've kind of always been that way. You know, I'm reserved. I've got a goal. I've got a mission in mind, and 100% of my focus is on that.
Just to make sure you're ready. I understand.
Well, I figured I'd take the trophy home, set it on the mantle,
Then you already know.
then go fish the Toyota on Grand the following week, then come to the Classic. My wife's already got it all.
Y'all giving out second, third place trophies?
They do actually.
Yeah,
Second,
they
third,
do.
We do get it.
Do
I
they?
didn't say which one it was.
That kind of stuff's for the kids, man.
You said that was
I
taking
know.
the trophy.
You just take them to the kids.
When they're teething, it's perfect.
Man, I can't believe I've got a Berkeley hollow belly tied on for probably the first tournament since the 2014 PFL All-American. It's been that long since I've had a hollow belly swim bait tied on. You confident this week?
Cautiously optimistic.
Cautiously. Matt's always cautious. I mean, they're literally caked in on the hole you won your first BFL on.
Brings back memories. I know Eufaula pretty well. I've spent quite a bit of time on this lake. My starting hole on day one is going to be the spot that I won the BFL off of 10 years ago. Those fish are there. Caught a 5 and a 7 off of it in practice. I'm hoping that spot's going to pay out for me. I can't believe how many fish are sitting on that spot, or were sitting on that spot. I hope they're still there. Bet you there's 50 of them.
Oh, I do not have a single hole like that to go to tomorrow. Spent too much time behind the wheel of my truck. I just really wish that I could get to those spawning fish first, and there's no way that's gonna happen. Everything in me, of everything that I know, at boat number 214 out of 225, I am not going to get in there first.
Boat 214. I really, really, really want an early boat number on day one. Welcome to Bassmaster, Justin. The risk is going in there and getting second, third crack at those fish. I mean, it's 214. I'm not going to blast off till an hour later. I mean, somebody could literally get there in the first flight, pull in, catch 1, 2, 3, and be gone by the time I come in. And I might come in and be like, oh, nobody's here. Well, they could have already been through there. You know, I mean, I'm literally going to blast off an hour after the first flight.
Because if I get down there and by some miracle get that place to myself, not to myself if I just get there first, I have the conditions tomorrow where I think they'll bite. I mean, a cloudy and rainy, potentially rainy, just a cloudy morning should make them tee off on that swim jig.
Man, at boat 214 or Justin trying to make it to that pond, I think he might need to make a different decision and try to find another spot to start on. If somebody is sitting on it, what's your thoughts?
I mean, I don't have anything like right there. It's either run backwards up to Patala or to continue down and hit like some brush piles or...
I know it's not the program, but if you do have to adjust, just keep in mind they're moving water from 6 to 10 tomorrow.
AM?
Lake Eufaula is such a current-oriented lake. When they generate current, it really turns the fish on. It puts them in predictable places. I think there's going to be a big window for catching a bag early in the morning, and then you're just going to have to kind of grind it out the rest of the day.
I'm not going to blast off till 7:30. So I might be better served staying up first, hitting all that stuff, see if I can't get some bonus fish, and then maybe creep up on the bank after they're done pulling current and check those fish later on. Am I overthinking this?
I wouldn't think about it too much. Man, Justin's mind is going in circles nonstop. I can't keep up with him. He's always overthinking stuff. I think if you check stuff or do things, like I said, don't stay there long. They're going to bite in the first 5 minutes if you find them. Like, most of the time they're going to bite in the first 2 or 3 casts.
If you're making the right cast, 5 is almost too many sometimes. I still expect this thing to be one offshore. The program that we kind of caught on to here, I think can win.
So the program that we run is like a pattern. It's basically a pattern that you can run across the lake or through a section of the lake and be able to catch fish doing the same thing on similar spots or similar techniques. And I feel like I found the winning program this week. I feel like I'm going to have an opportunity. I've got to fish clean and execute and still be willing to adjust. I agree.
But you're sharing a lot of fish.
I'd prefer to share a lot of fish out there deep with those guys than just share a few up on the bank. 225 boats, there are boats everywhere. There is nothing that you can have to yourself. You're going to be fishing in a crowd more than likely. I don't care if you're fishing shallow or you're fishing deep, you're probably going to have company.
And this lake is getting absolutely ravaged by fishermen, and the bass definitely feel that.
For such a simple tournament, I got way too many rods I'm rigging.
I actually don't have as many as I normally do. First wave of tired just set in. I wonder if I should try to go start on that bedfish.
Now he's thinking crazy.
I am thinking crazy.
How big was it?
4-pounder.
That's it?
Maybe 3 3/4. Yeah, you're right. That's not a smart idea.
And me and Justin, we've fished as a team for so long. We're still going to approach this series as a team. We're going to be helping each other. We're not fishing together. We're not in the same boat. But the guys out here are so good that we're fishing against. It's going to take us fishing and treating this as a team for us both to excel and make it to the next level.
And when I told you the time, I lied. It was 7:58. Boom. Just turned 8 o'clock.
Rounding up like Lowry does his weight. Oh my gosh.
8 o'clock. I'm going to hit the showers, going to bed.
Justin missed 2 days of practice this week. I know he's been relying on some of my information and what I'm doing in practice to try to help fill him in on the gaps he's missed. But I know that when he starts catching them tomorrow, I'm probably going to need help from him. I stood back up and fired a cast out and literally caught one on the first cast, and it was a good one. I caught one on the second cast, and then I caught one on the third cast. It was nonstop. I mean, literally 25 casts in a row. I was throwing 3.5 pounders back.
You can lead a blind man to a